I'm Dave Williams. I run a company called Big Bug Sports. We primarily represent rugby union players, but we also are a performance sports retailer, and we publish a business-to-business website on rugby.
Fantastic. And tell me a little bit more about how you got into doing that.
It's a long story, but I think I probably followed my enthusiasm for sport. Sport generally to begin with. My background was in journalism and PR, and I worked for a consumer PR company and got to know Puma, the sports brand. Joined them and worked for them for about 10 years, both in the UK and in internationally in Germany, and mostly about sponsorship, media, advertising, marketing, and all those things involved with the maintenance and growth of a sports performance brand.
Obviously, as a sports agent, it's a lot of people's objective or aim in their career to become an agent of some sort or another. What do you see as the biggest challenge in your market?
Biggest challenge is, and like a lot of it's about expectation. I think is managing expectations. As a player agent or an agent in any sport, you are in charge of getting the optimum deal for a client, not necessarily the maximum, in that you tend to spend a lot of time translating the club's position to the player and the player's position to the club, when possibly there might be a breakdown of communication there or something to be managed. And I think that's probably the biggest challenge is managing expectations of both sides of that.
Okay. And what advice would you have for somebody looking to get into your sector of the industry?
Probably to do something else first. I think you can probably get involved too young. I'm a bit wary of guys who want to represent rugby players in their own peer group, of the same age. I always tell people that you can go from broad background to niche, but it's very difficult to go from niche to broad. So if you choose to be specialist too early, you tend to get stuck in that specialism. Whereas if you go more general, especially if you work for an agency, whether it's sponsorship, PR, or in the media, you get a good general grounding first. So you actually got some sort of wisdom, some sort of experience to apply to a consultancy or advisory job.
And that's very interesting, because I think that reflects all sectors of the industry, to start off broad and start to narrow as you get more experience and a better understanding of the market, or any market sector as a whole. What's your favourite interview question and why?
I'm a bit of a brand fascist. So what I tend to do, largely because we do deal in things like performance sports brands anyway quite a bit, I love to ask people. We also deal with young rugby players quite a bit too. I love to ask people what boots they wear to play rugby in, or what running shoes they wear. It's a great starter in terms of understanding the products and also the brand perceptions of those particular products, because a large part of what we do is all about that.
Dave, thank you very much. I think the clock is ticking, and so it is time to move on, but thank you.
You're welcome.